Hi everyone, welcome to my internship presentation. Today I'm going to share some key projects I've worked on during my internship, and also what I learned along the way. Uh, so let's begin. So to give you some context, my team focused on building tools and platforms for better data insights, especially in the retail industry. My role was mainly about connecting data engineering with the web product development and mobile app testing. So in simpler terms, I worked on making sure the data is clean, the tools are useful, and the code is well documented for the next person to continue where I left off. Okay, so what I worked on, first of all, I have to modernize our data tables from Hive to Asper. I built the Insight web portal. I also helped to set up the weekly Airflow cleanup. Finally, I tested the Insight mobile app, both iOS and Android version. Let's begin our first project, which is migrating data from the Hive to Asper. So if those names sound unfamiliar, Hive is basically an older system where we use for the big data. Think of it as a giant spreadsheet system on a Hadoop. And Apache Asper is newer technology that stores data in more modern way. Asper is cool because it adds data space like features to our data lake. Things like reliable ACID transactions and even the time travel queries. These features make data more reliable and easier to manage, and essentially turning our data lake into something more like a data warehouse. So what did I actually do? I wrote and ran a script to convert a bunch of our existing Hive tables into the new Expert format. It was a bit like moving to the new apartment, so I have to carefully transfer lots of data from the old system to the new one without breaking anything. So also had to update some data pipeline code so that the jobs now would read from the iceberg instead of the Hive. At first, I was worried I might drop some data during the move, but I tested everything on a small samples first, and eventually I got several key data sets migrated. It felt great to see queries that run faster on the iceberg now. So what did I actually do in this migration? Well, I identified the tables we needed to move, make sure that no one will be affected by the migration. Also, then carefully transfer the data to Iceberg. After that, I updated our daily jobs to use the new tables. This project made things quicker, required less manual work, and it will be much easier for future engineers to make changes without worrying about breaking the report. The next project is the Insight Web Portal. Um, this is an internal tool that helps our team quickly check and filter data, such as the product status and expiration status. It has features like a login system to secure data, search and data filters to make data easy to find, the CSV export for reporting, and the image preview for visualizing the product details. Right now the portal is in its final stage. I've been cleaning up the code, making it more efficient and easier to understand. I also writing a README, which is guide for the future developers to know how to use and extend the portal. So once it's done, it will be easier for anyone to pick up where I left off. So this is my final project currently working right now. The next project is called Airflow Cleanup. Airflow is a tool we use to manage our data task. For over time, it stores a lot of data that shows that slows it down. The more data it will have, the longer time it will need to process. So we every week we archive a last week's record to a cloud storage like S3. You can think of it like moving old files to an offsite storage, but you can still access it whenever you need them. So how it works? So every week we copy Airflow runs records to cloud storage as CSV files. We make them searchable so we can access the data later. Finally, we tidy up the Airflow's own database by removing old data. This keeps Airflow running fast while still letting us access the historical data we needed. This whole process is called ingestion, and it includes the like AWS Athena, AWS Glue Job, AWS Cloud Forest. Like there's a lots of the data techniques that we need lah. But I will just keep it short in this stage. And the last project is called Insight Mobile App Testing. So the Insight mobile app use AI to scan products on the retail shelves and check their expiration status. I tested this app on both iOS and Android devices, checking different phones, lightning conditions, and layouts. And then I created a detailed report with the screenshot and suggestions for the app's improvement. And the problem and challenge, well, I hit a few bumps on the road during the internship. Here are some of the notable changes I faced. First, when I started, I had to barely heard of the Iceberg and Airflow. So diving into migration Hive to Iceberg was intimidating. So it's challenging. I had to quickly read documents and understanding the concepts. And during the data migration, I encountered weird errors. One time, a script failed halfway through. A script failed halfway through a huge database copy. It turned out to be the memory issue. So I had a mini heartbreak, like I'm thinking that I corrupted the data. So yeah, the next challenge is the time management. I was juggling multiple projects. I have to balance different. I mean, it was a challenge to balance my time. So, yeah, I have to quickly learn to prioritize the task. And last, it will be asking for help. Like I have to admit, like at first I hesitate to ask questions because I don't want to seem that I have no experience on that. They will help me back for sure. So yeah, after I start to speaking up, I overcome the issues much more faster. And last one is remote collaboration. Part of my team was another country in Malaysia, in Japan, in China. So yeah, we often collaborate on time and well, I had to answer. It taught me to adapt the different working styles. Well, next is how I solve them. How do I solve these problems? For the migration, I did careful planning and double checked all data before removing it. For the proto, I kept the uh, iterating on the design based on the feedback from my teammates. For the archiving, the data airflow cleanup, I set up the automated jobs that runs every week and send alerts if something goes wrong. For the mobile app testing, I built the detailed checklist and compare the result across the multiple phones and conditions. Now, what I learned, here is what I learned. So first, I modernizing tables with Iceberg made our data queries faster and more reliable. That is the fun fact I learned. Automating tasks like archiving, like cleanup, helps keep everything organized and reduce the manual work. So in the future work, I have to do the cleanup regularly. As clean, easy to use web portal helps non-technical teammates make decisions faster. So for the end users, you cannot just treat them as your like as your classmates who learn same stuff as you, right? So you have to make sure that they understand what you are doing, make the user friendly. The last is having searchable archives lets us answer questions without slowing down daily work. Now, for the communication, this is the key, right? I make sure everyone knows what was changing and when. So we have to make the documents on Confluence website. Every task that we done, we have to make the documents so that everyone knows where we are right now. And it is important to prioritize the task, shape core features first, and then improve them over time. And when something fails, the key is to stay curious, log it, and fix it step by step. And lastly, documenting everything is crucial. All right, future you will thank you. Now let's talk about the outcomes. The web portal is now much faster and easier to use, and the airflow is more responsive after weekly cleanup. The portal's README is clear and make it easy to hand over. The mobile app issues, especially with the accuracy in poor lightning, have been fixed. So what's next? I will finish cleaning up the protocols and hand over to the team. We will add more health checks and alerts for the weekly cleanup. We plan the periodic cleanups for the expert tables to keep them tidy, and then I will create a repeatable checklist for the mobile app testing lah. Yeah, thank you for your time. I'm happy to explain more again if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye bye.